So good afternoon and welcome to WestRock's Missisquoi Mill here in Sheldon Springs. My name is Wade Taylor. I'm the general manager of this facility, and it's a pleasure to have you all here and an honor. I really appreciate it. This mill has been in operation since 1895, serving as an economic cornerstone for northwestern Vermont for 123 years. Today I'm proud to say that we're continuing that tradition by employing 150 individuals in good-paying manufacturing jobs and contributing tens of millions of dollars to the local economy every year. I'm equally proud to say that this 100% recycled mill diverts 100,000 tons of paper from landfills every year, turning old box and other paper packaging materials into new packaging for some of your favorite brands. Paper making is an energy-intensive process, and we operate it in an intensely competitive global market. Because of that, our energy efficiency is embedded into our DNA, but unfortunately, in spite of having a strong working relationship with our utilities and our efficiency providers, we've had a difficult time fully leveraging the funds that we've paid into the state's energy efficiency program. Between 2010 and 2017, we paid over $2.5 million into the electrical efficiency program. We were only able to recover about 23% of that in grants. For WestRock, our unique energy mix of electrical and natural gas usage would continue to make accessing those funds difficult. When WestRock and the Associated Industries of Vermont flagged this issue for the governor last year, he and his team immediately began working with utilities, Efficiency Vermont, Vermont Gas, and others to see how they could help us and other Vermont businesses. Governor Scott, I want to personally thank you for your advocacy in this issue, along with chairs and members of the Senate Finance and House Energy Technology Committees, our Franklin County delegation, and all the other stakeholders who work to make this day possible. We appreciate the legislature and the governor encouraging Vermont businesses to continue investing in ways that increase energy efficiencies. We believe the Energy Savings Account Partnership pilot will allow us to make energy investments where they will have the most positive impact in reducing our total energy costs, not just electric costs. The flexibility provided by H39 and the Energy Savings Account Partnership pilot will help companies like ours who truly want to find energy efficiencies but struggle with the restrictions of the current program. I look forward to applying and hopefully participating in the pilot. It's my belief that the provisions of H39 can provide this mill with competitive advantage that will help sustain these jobs for another 100 years. Again, none of this would have been possible without the leaders who are committed in their support of Vermont's businesses and workers. And with that in mind, it's my great pleasure to turn things over to the 82nd Governor of Vermont, Mr. Phil Scott.
Thank you very much, and really appreciate being here today, and thank you for doing business in Vermont. We don't thank our businesses enough for the challenges they face each and every day, and I certainly appreciate it, and I know many of our folks here, legislators alike, appreciate that too. So this is great to host us here as our official signing of the H739, and this law is really important because it gives businesses a new way to make energy efficient improvements that they need to make and that we want them to make. Let me start by acknowledging the unique role that everyone here at this plant, all 150 members, played in shaping this legislation. During my first few months as governor, I had the opportunity to meet with the WestRock team. I appreciated hearing their story about the efforts to have one of the most efficient global plants right here in Sheldon Springs, and about the company's commitment to doing business in Vermont. But the team also shared with me the obstacles that made staying here very difficult. See, not only does WestRock face the high cost of energy here in the Northeast, but they also struggle to find ways to use the energy efficient programs we have here in this state. When I hear stories like this, I want to assure you that my team and I are listening. Our Public Service Department issued a report in January on establishing a total energy pilot program to shape and lead this discussion on this important subject. And I want to thank Wade and all those in the manufacturing and energy sectors, including Omnia, who is here today as well, and Global Foundries, who supported this bill, for making the trip to Montpelier multiple times to tell us their story as well, so we can better understand the impact of these policies. Vermont businesses, especially those in rural Vermont, need every advantage they can possibly get to remain competitive in a global marketplace. We believe the new tools in this bill will help companies like WestRock make investments they simply would not have made under the existing energy efficiency programs. This will reduce operating costs and simultaneously help the state meet its energy goals. This new law has three essential components. First, it creates a pilot program that companies can apply to participate in, expanding the use of energy or efficiency incentives, guaranteeing a one-to-one return on a company's investment, and reducing the cost to get into the efficiency programs. Second, it expands the existing Self-Managed Energy Efficiency Program, or SMEP, to an additional user. Omnia in Rutland, Omnia has demonstrated a level of commitment to energy efficiency that, to date, only Global Foundries was able to accomplish. Finally, it allows companies in SMEP and those in the newly created pilot to use state-regulated electric efficiency funds to make energy-related productivity investments at their facilities. What this means to Vermont is companies are now incentivized to grow right here, as long as that expansion helps them to do more while using less energy. I want to thank the team at Global Foundries, Vermont's largest private employer, for advocating for this opportunity. I especially want to thank Tom as well for his input. In today's global economy, energy policy is an economic development policy as well. And I'm hopeful this new program is successful in its goals to keep companies right here to grow and locate in Vermont and stay here in Vermont. Before signing this bill, I also want to thank the entire Franklin County delegation for their help in making sure this goes through, especially Representative Corey Parent and Senator Randy Brock for shepherding this bill and bringing together recommendations with the Department of Public Service and the needs of businesses in order to shape the proposal we have here today. It's also important to thank Vermont Energy Investment Corporation CEO Jim Mottich and Efficiency Vermont Director Karen Glipman for their help in making this happen. Finally, and I want to thank my team who's here today. I didn't realize you were going to be here, but Commissioner June Tierney from Public Service, as well as Secretary Mike Sherling from Commerce, for their leadership on this issue. We couldn't do this alone. None of us individually could do this. Collectively, working together, pulling in the same direction, we were able to pull this off. And so it took all of us with the same goal in mind in order to accomplish this. So I really want to thank everyone here for their involvement. And with that, I'd like to invite Senator Randy Brock up to say a few words, if he would.
Thank you very, very much, Governor. We very much appreciate your joining us here today for this bill signing ceremony. A lot of people have come to me from WestRock and thanked me for the work that I've done on this bill. And no thanks are necessary because we should be thanking you. You're the ones who made this bill possible. You're the ones who provided the leadership, the ingenuity, the energy, the commitment, and all the work that you've demonstrated towards energy efficiency, economy, and productivity. All of those things are critical for a program like this to succeed. We also should thank those partners in state government, from the Agency of Commerce and Community Development, from the Department of Public Service to Efficiency Vermont, and all of those who also are part of putting something like this together. No one person, no group, and certainly no legislature can do this without the commitments of all of those who are involved in making this bill happen. We spend a lot of time in the legislature trying to attract new businesses to Vermont. And the real payback and the real payoff is keeping the businesses that we have and supporting them in the kind of partnership that makes us all successful. And for that, again, I want to thank all of you at WestRock for an absolutely phenomenal job. Thanks so much. And I'd like to then introduce Representative Corey Parent from St. Albans City.
Thank you, Randy. First, I'd like to start by thanking Wade, Matt, and the team here at WestRock for hosting this bill signing ceremony, and the governor, his administration, and Efficiency Vermont, and all the legislators here today and those who couldn't be here for their hard work on this bill. My interest on helping WestRock with this situation here started about 4 years ago on my first campaign when I was knocking on doors, and I ran into an old family friend, Al Teague. Al explained to me the situation WestRock was in more than a few times. Every time I saw him, he'd bring up the issue and really drilled it in. He brought the whole Franklin County legislative delegation up here for a tour, and when I was assigned to the Energy and Technology Committee this past biennium, I think he was my only constituent excited about that and replugged in my ear that we needed to work on this energy efficiency program. So, first, we were able to help Al with a study committee, and this spring he reached out and goes, that study that you guys did, hit it head on. How do we turn that into a piece of legislation? So with Ted Brady, again, the administration, our committee, Matt coming up from Virginia, we were able to turn it into H739. I'd like to call this the Al Teague bill because without Al championing for this bill, I don't know if it has seen the light of day. So, Al, sorry it happened after your retirement. We forgot to tell you if you retired 3 years ago, it would have got done then. But thank you for all your hard work. We hope it's a parting gift for everything you've done for this plant and the Franklin County and the state of Vermont. I look forward to seeing... I'll close by saying I look forward to seeing the companies that apply for this pilot program and watching Vermont businesses and Vermonters do what they do best, and that's innovate. So thank you again, and I'll like to introduce Karen Glittman from Efficiency Vermont.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting us to join in this celebration and this acknowledgement of all the hard work and the different institutions and businesses and organizations that help make today possible. We at Efficiency Vermont are really looking forward to taking the words on the page of this bill and turning them into projects on the ground. Projects that will, for the first time, enable businesses to bring together energy storage, productivity, and efficiency. That will enable businesses to have greater control over their energy use, greater predictability on their energy cost, and greater flexibility in their use of their energy efficiency funds. That we think is good for Vermont, it's good for Vermont's energy system, and it's good for businesses. And we really look forward to working with all of our partners in businesses, the local distribution utilities, to turning this bill, this theory, into reality and projects on the ground. We're ready to get going, and we're anxious to get this work started, so let's do it.
I think we're ready to sign, Governor. Okay. Now comes the hard part. And what would make a really, really great picture is if all of you could come up behind here with some of what we see, some of the equipment in the background, make a great picture. So, first tag. Good picture. Taz. Come on, Taz. Feel free, anybody that wants to come up, feel free. We gotta get somebody to do this. You're the culprit. That's it. Yeah. Okay.